There are still kilometres as we speak of Christchurch where portable toilets have yet to arrive. Sausage sizzles have become a staple diet, while food is left to go off and rot in corporate supermarkets. We heard today in the Herald that the cops, two police officers, beat up a boy with Asperger's syndrome who stole 2 light bulbs and then was kept in police custody for 2 weeks. For stealing the light bulbs, it's disproportionate, it's disgusting, and we should all be ashamed of the New Zealand police doing that. The ongoing problems of capitalism and of state brutality and its contempt for poor people have only been amplified by this earthquake. And it's, I guess, that the final thought that I'll leave you with is that it is up to people to organise and confront these shock therapists before they attempt a pro-capitalist, anti-democratic makeover of New Zealand while the dust from this quake is still settling. So if we could open it up for questions or comments and a bit of a discussion.
So I think the first thing that we should say is people already have blood on their hands in this country. Whoever approved buildings in Christchurch who give them green or yellow stickers through line of sight examination after the September quake was responsible for putting workers into unsafe buildings like the CTV building, right? We need to find out which bureaucrats made that decision, and we also need to demand as workers safety checks in all the buildings in New Zealand, in Wellington, in Napier, in Christchurch, right? If there's not proper safety checks done on the buildings, just like we'd want safety checks done on the food that we eat or the liquids that we drink or chemicals, then other workers can be killed in their place of work like the people were in Christchurch, right? The majority of people who were killed. And there's blood on people's hands following the decisions from the September quake. There was a rush to get that city back to making profits, right? And there were decisions made to put people back into unsafe buildings. That's first. The second thing is the huge disproportionate allocation of wealth. Omar mentioned South Canterbury Finance. South Canterbury Finance got $1.6 billion, right? For how many investors? 150, right? The people of Christchurch, New Zealand's second biggest city, so far have been given 100 million, right? That shows the priorities. Look at the eastern suburbs of Christchurch where people haven't water or toilets still with weeks after the event, right? There's huge amounts of money for bankers or the wealthy, and you don't see this just in Christchurch. Look at Europe, look at the crisis and the mass strikes against the austerity programs there. Billions for bankers, nothing for the people. And that's the second thing we should start getting angry about. Why is there no resources for people? Tens of thousands of workers have lost their jobs. There's an exodus already happening. People are moving to Timaru, they're moving here, right? It's not good enough that people are just abandoned to the whims of the market. You know, we need proper support given to people, and I don't think $400 or $500 is enough to live on. I mean, we unionise workers, and it's not enough for people to be on $13 as it is. So I think people who are reliant, you know, who have families to feed and stuff, it's impossible to do that in $400. That's an insult by John Key. And I think we should start as socialists to make that second point very clear, that there's billions for South Canterbury Finance and fuck all for workers and the poor. And the third thing we need to do is viciously defend all the things, all the gains that we've got in the last few decades. If they come for working for families, right, every Tory in this society should be a target, right, for cream pies, bricks through windows, whatever, right, because any attack on working for families is an attack on children. That's what it's an attack on. And you can dress it up any way you want. We need to find money for the earthquake in Christchurch. I've got a better idea where we can find the money. Let's expropriate the rich. Let's take the wealth from the wealthy, because they're the ones who've been taking it off us for the last 30, 40 years since Rogernomics. So don't let them attack the poor. Don't let them attack students. Don't let them attack children when they come from working for families. Let's start putting the pressure on the other side.
On the first point, he said, I'm not familiar with this finance company or New Zealand politics, but I'm highly familiar with earthquakes.